Trump breaking news today. Donald Trump's ABC News lawsuit has one major issue. Despite the judge in the civil case stating twice that Trump did rape the former Elle columnist Jean Carroll, the president is suing ABC News for falsely implying that a jury found him guilty of rape. Trump filed a lawsuit against ABC News and broadcaster George Stephanopoulos on Monday, stating that Stephanopoulos had repeatedly made false statements about a jury finding the ex-president guilty of raping Carroll at a Bergdorf Goodman store in the 1990s. Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina is a survivor of rape. Stephanopoulos asked her why, in light of the fact that judges in two different juries have found him accountable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. Mace continues to support Trump's presidential campaign. A civil jury in New York found Trump guilty of sexually assaulting the writer in May 2023 and sentenced him to pay $5 million in damages. Trump denied the attack happened and subsequently defamed the writer's character. Not that he raped Carroll, but the jury did find that Trump sexually mistreated Carroll, although the former president was not found guilty of rape under the New York penal law, which does not classify rape in criminal prosecutions as digital penetration. Judge Lewis Kaplan, who presided over the civil trial, has since stated in two separate filings that the former president committed the act under a more expansive definition recognized in other states. Kaplan initially brought up the difference when he rejected Trump's motion to vacate the $5 million fine and reschedule the civil trials for sexual battery and defamation. Kaplan stated in July 2023 that the New York penal law's definition of rape is far narrower than the widespread modern usage of the term, the definition in certain dictionaries, and the definition in certain federal and state criminal legislation, among other sources. Just because Ms. Carroll couldn't establish that she was raped according to New York penal law doesn't imply she couldn't prove that Mr. Trump raped her, because rape is a word that many people use interchangeably. The jury did find that Mr. Trump did exactly that, as is evident from the trial evidence. After losing Carroll's second defamation suit and being fined an additional $83 million, the judge ruled that Trump could not attempt to argue differently, stating that Trump had raped Carroll. Based on what Kaplan stated in January, the fact that Mr. Trump sexually abused and raped Ms. Carroll is now legally binding. Whether or not Stephanopoulos intentionally manufactured the false accusations and the fact that neither jury found Trump liable for rape appear to be the central points of Trump's case against ABC News. According to Trump's lawyer Alejandro Brito, defendant Stephanopoulos knows that these allegations are obviously and blatantly false, thus either Stephanopoulos acted maliciously or carelessly when making these claims. Defendant George Stephanopoulos knew the jury found that plaintiff did not commit rape yet falsely said otherwise, the statement read. The jury specifically found that plaintiff did not commit rape. We reached out to Trump's legal team via email to inquire about their comment. When Newsweek contacted ABC News, the network chose not to respond. According to lawyer and Trump skeptic George Conway, who just published an extensive essay on X, previously Twitter, the ex-president will draw greater attention to his assault on Carroll with his new lawsuit. According to Conway, the theory of Trump's complaint here is that, since the jury unanimously found that Trump forcibly and without consent penetrated Carroll's vagina with his fingers and not his penis, and since this constituted sexual assault and not rape as defined by the New York Penal Code, Stephanopoulos libeled him by saying he had been held liable for rape. The judge in the Carroll case has held multiple times since the verdict that forcible digital penetration is legally considered rape, according to Conway. This means that Trump is suing ABC and Stephanopoulos for paraphrasing a federal district judge's many written rulings. What Trump did to Carroll will only become more public knowledge as a result of this lawsuit. Additionally, he and his legal team can face sanctions. Yet another stable genius-level maneuver. In addition to being a rapist, Trump is a very insane and incredibly dim-witted individual.